We want to chat about how the heck you ended up in this mess.
I landed on a 3-day gig, which then evolved into like 4 years on Solana.
You guys are fucking putting it out there.
I hated NFTs, I hated tokens, I hated everything crypto related.
You guys did a lot in the past 12 months, and that started also your founder journey, because before that you never did anything entrepreneurial.
At least nothing technical.
Okay.
I was selling fruit on like the beaches, etc.
Josip, welcome to Soul Brothers. Thanks for taking the time. Today, we want to chat a little bit about yourself. We want to chat about Superteam Balkan. We want to chat about how the heck you ended up in this mess. And that's where I want to start. Because I have no idea what Josip did before Solana. Because for me, you are very deeply involved in the Solana ecosystem. You are one of the initial co-founders of Superteam Balkan, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
And now you have some sort of advisory role in Superteam Balkan, and you're focused on your own startup, mostly, and raising your children.
Yeah, that's about it.
But what happened? Why did you come to this ecosystem and start building on Solana?
That's actually a good question that I don't get to talk about too often. But basically, around 3.5 years ago, I had a really well-paid job as a developer. So it was actually 4,500 euros a month, brutto.
In Croatia.
In Croatia.
Which
That's
is
like
okay.
insane. That's like absolutely insane.
Okay.
Especially for a mid-level developer at the time. And basically, I was supposed to work on like a new code base, but it's legacy. And I started to have an itch because I could remain calm. I worked 2 hours. That's the funny part. I worked 2 hours a day for such a solid salary. And there's enough free time in the day to open up Upwork. And I landed on a 3-day gig, which then evolved into like 4 years on Solana. The way it happened was I hated NFTs, I hated tokens, I hated everything crypto related. I've seen my friends and family, not family, but I've seen friends engage with crypto, and I've seen the public, and it's pretty much speculation and gambling. It is lack of substance, and I had a lot of prejudice. But ultimately, I ended up on an Upwork gig that I didn't know was actually meant for an NFT collection. It is a browser-based game. It is cool. It is supposed to be 3 days, but then evolved into 3 months, and then from 3 months into 6 months, and from 6 months, I then evolved to my own startups. So it was a funny journey because I was always despising crypto and somehow ended up on a random gig on Upwork where I moved from like a high-paid job to building cool stuff on Solana. And that was at the time when Solana was actually restarting often, and it wasn't really working, and it's called SQL as opposed to Sol. But I've seen the energy in the ecosystem at the time. I've seen it. The most beautiful part was that I wasn't shelled in my own bubble in a developer agency. I was actually communicating directly with the community that was engaging with the platform that I was building. I had direct user feedback right there, and that was the most beautiful part that sold me on Web3.
Let me get that straight though. You stumbled into crypto from a gig on Upwork.
Yes.
And you were a developer that was in a comfy environment. You made good money, you had a job that paid your bills, but something was missing. And crypto gave you a little sneak peek into a better work environment, I guess.
Like that gig, I essentially had to owe up to everything I built because I was directly building with the community as like a technical person on the team. And it essentially gave me that feeling of being a founder, talking to your audience, talking to your users. And I think that iteration process with everyone was what sold me on it.
And that started also your founder journey, because before that you never did anything entrepreneurial?
At least nothing technical.
Okay.
Like I was selling fruit on like the beaches, etc.
Really?
Yeah.
You were selling fruit on the beaches?
Yeah.
With like a little bell, bing, 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 bing.
It is something like that, yeah.
In Croatia?
Yeah.
When you were a teenager?
Not a teenager, actually.
When you were a grown-up adult?
I got married.
Okay.
I didn't have a job. I didn't finish college.
Oh, damn.
And I got married. And essentially, my parents were like, what the heck, Josip? What are you doing here? Like, you don't have pennies. And then we tried to make up with whatever we could to do. So over the summer, we were like selling fruits that we could steal from our family.
Oh, really? That's how it worked? That was the business?
Yeah, it was a decent business. But yeah, it was like a fruit booth.
How did you get from selling fruits on the beach to being a developer?
No, I was... Okay, we're digging through my past
just a little bit. I mean, I'm curious now, like genuinely.
To go back, I was actually in a college which was maths and computer science, but it's mostly maths, and I sucked. I failed 2 years, and I needed an excuse to not be like... I always had a mentality that if you fail at college, like a lot of people in the Balkans, if you fail at college, you're nothing. And then I like needed one more chance to do something, and I was like, yeah, like the maths, like the teachers are bad there, but the computer science is what I really can do. So I moved to I use that as an excuse to move to a college which is fully computer science. In reality, I didn't even like programming. I just forced myself to love it because I needed an excuse to go into like a new college. Why the heck, Josip, are you going for a new college if you already failed this one? But yeah, it's like the computer science. I really love it, man. And then I actually learned to love it. And from there, like the programming and problem solving, it all evolved and moved a little bit towards entrepreneurship.
Okay. And now, today, I mean, your life changed a lot from these days. You're a pretty established person on Solana. At least you're known on Twitter, right? For some reason, you managed to build up some sort of personal brand on Twitter. You're helping a lot of teams. I think that's one of the reasons why you're well known, because you are actually a very helpful person, generally, right? And I think that's something you enjoy doing. You're good at that. You are a very good mentor. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Are you enjoy being a mentor? Are you enjoy?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. If I wasn't a developer or founder, I would probably go for being a teacher.
Interesting.
Before I retire, I'm going to move to being, I don't know, university professor potentially.
Okay. And that matches your profile so well because you also, as you said, you married quite early, I would say.
Yeah.
And you raised children quite early as well in your life compared to other individuals. How many children do you have if you're open to say that?
It's 4 children. I wouldn't say it's too early. It's like 23 years old.
Okay. That's when you started?
Yeah. We got married at 23 and that's when I got the first kid. And now I'm 28 and it's 4 kids. It's funny because I don't consider that like a lot of kids. Like I'm a 5th kid. My wife is a 9th kid. And my sister-in-law has 14 kids. Another sister-in-law has like 7 kids.
You guys are fucking putting it out there.
Yeah. Like you need to onboard the next generation for liquidity.
Yes.
And
Exit
you have to start somewhere,
Yeah.
essentially.
Smart. So would you say that building in crypto and being on Solana helps you to make children?
Well, not necessarily crypto, but like being founder is sexy. It gets you laid. I mean, just look at the numbers. Like Elon Musk, 14 children, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn.
Toli, 3, and he's probably on a 4th kid on the way at the moment.
Right.
And I'm 4 kids. Like, there's something there that gives you like the extra testosterone.
I guess so, right? Like being a founder actually means, leading people, being a leader, putting it out there. And I think maybe women like that.
There, oh my God.
That's perfect. Yeah, I think that's very good advice, ladies and gentlemen. Now, moving on, moving on to Superteam Balkan. Josip, who are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse?
4 horsemen.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah. The 4 horsemen would be, there was initially 3 musketeers, but we got promoted to 4 horsemen. Essentially, it was me, Matija Luketin from Solban, and Marco, who was leading Zendao at the time. So he already had a community in the Balkans before he even knew what Superteam was. And then with me kind of going towards foundership, Matija going towards being like a really crack developer studio, dev shop, and Marco building a community, we just kind of joined the forces there together and set up Superteam Balkans. And shortly after, we got joined by Željko, who is the 4th horseman of famine.
Right. And you guys are basically now the dream team that puts Superteam Balkan on the map.
Yeah.
You guys did a lot in the past 12 months. Superteam Balkan started early 2024. Now we are well into 2025. It hasn't been that long yet, but what are some of the successes that you've seen out of Superteam Balkan so far? Why would you say it is one of the most dominant super teams right now?
I wouldn't even go like most dominant super teams. I would just say most dominant kind of Web3 accelerators in a way.
Hell yeah.
And I would even go for in the worldwide, but definitely in the whole region. The results are simple in just like a year and a few months. Besides the KPIs like number of people attending events, like 5,000-10,000 people through different conferences and workshops, etc. I would say the things I'm most proud with is I think we already hired like more than 20-30 people in the region, like including like everyone that's employed at Superteam and outside Superteam from partnerships. There's 3 teams which raise funds from $500,000 to 1 million and above. Again, it's just like a single year.
Yeah.
And we on the biggest competition on Solana and probably the biggest hackathon in the world with 1,500 submissions, which is Colosseum, we actually placed like a second region in the world. So out of 35 winners and honorable mentions in the last Colosseum hackathon, there's 7-8 teams that are honorable mentions or winners from the Balkan region. So that's like basically 10-15%.
Huge.
Or yeah, actually higher. Man, I don't do maths. But it's like a lot.
Yeah.
It's something like that.
Who's the first one? Who made it this year in hackathon in the Colosseum one? Who's on the first place? Like with the most honorable mentions and wins. Which super team was that? Which region?
First one was UK, and it was by a slim margin. But Cap does like a really crack job.
Shout out to Cap, Super Team UK, for doing a good job. But we're coming, right? Like next year, I think we want to see the Balkans on the first spot. So
yeah,
we'll stay competitive here in the Balkans. Now, one more thing about combining both your personal life and your business, because I think that makes you unique as well. At least in my network, I don't know a lot of people that are so good at juggling like 5,000 things at the same time. I know it's stressful. I can see that. I can see you're stressed, but somehow you do it really well. Like you juggle it really well. I have one anecdote that I stumbled upon on Twitter, which was when you actually hired a UI UX designer to draw animals to keep your children happy. Is that actually a true story?
It was a fun moment. I do have a full-time designer in the team, and he was taking a few hours to like draw animals on Figma with the kids.
Just like, for the kids?
Yeah. Like I was on a call with designer from the team, and there were kids like next to me. Like whoever was on a call with me, maybe you saw a couple of kids in the background running, and I was on a design call, and he was like making some mock-ups and wireframes. He started like doing some drawings, like the mascot, the bunny of Day Reader.
Yeah.
And then they were like so into it, and they're so calm during that time. They don't normally watch too many cartoons or something like that. It's just amazing to them to see like drawings and now draw this, and somebody's actually drawing on the screen. And it took like at least 1-2 hours of their time where Matan was just drawing on the screen, and then I was coding on the side. So
you managed to somehow combine your private life and your family life with your work. In some fashion, to some extent. What is one of the key factors that makes it possible for you to be an entrepreneur, an advisor and mentor for a super team and all the startups, and a dad of 4, soon 5 children, and a husband to a wife? Yeah, I mean, if you want to have a larger family or family at all, number one, wife has to be fully supportive and understand what you're getting into. And the second one is like the nuclear family, the close family. Luckily, our kids have both grandparents, right? And they have like 30 nephews. So it's very easy to raise kids when the environment around you is fully set up for it. Like if you're alone and you don't have anyone to like have to pick up the kids, etc. It's just a whole different setup, and I obviously wouldn't be able to have so many kids if the environment wasn't around me as it is. So I would say that if you do try to juggle multiple things, including family, just make if the kids don't see you too much in the day, the least thing you could do is when you're actually with the kids, put the phone away for half an hour and just dedicate them 100% fully. Like that's the minimum thing you could do. That is great advice, and I think underrated probably for a lot of people that are either working professionally a lot or just are actually founders. Yeah, I mean it's hard to do it. I always have my phone. I might even check it like while you're speaking there. I might actually check something here. Yeah. But like the minimum is like find at least half an hour where you fully dedicate to kids. It's much easier to raise good kids if you actually dedicate time to them, and because they notice when you're looking at the screen, like, is the phone really more important than me? Damn, hell yeah. Smart. Okay. Thanks for sharing that advice. I think it might be useful for some future fathers on Solana that are about to raise some children and building businesses. I think you can definitely look up Josip on Twitter and ask for advice, not only for your startup, maybe also for your personal life, but I think especially for your startup, because you are very good at mentorship and helping startups to iterate, find product market fit, and so on. I think you're open to help founders worldwide as well. Like, are they open to DM you once in a while? Are you able to get back to them, or are you slammed?
No, I'm slammed, but at this point it's a professional deformation where I'm helping Superteam Balkans. I'm also doing stuff for my own startups, so talking with creators, helping creators, etc. Like, it's part of my job on so many different levels that at this point I don't know how to say no. Like, it's easier to just give a response to somebody as opposed to ignore it in a way.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much responsive. I have a high availability, but yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Josip, for the insights, and we will see you in the metaverse on X or Telegram, wherever you are. Thank you, sir.